We are talking about New York's Museum of Modern Art. So they are considering buying NFTs with the proceeds from a $70 million auction, according to the Wall Street Journal. The museum is planning on selling some of the founder of the CBS Broadcasting Network, William S. Paley's art collection, which they've been holding since he passed in 1990. And they have a team of people keeping tabs on the digital art market. I think this makes sense to me. If we talk about modern art, NFTs have to jump into the conversation somewhere there. Wendy, I'm going to kick this off to you. What do you think about MoMA keeping close tabs on what's going on with NFTs?
They should be keeping close tab on NFTs. If they weren't, are they really like a museum that people love and go to that captures moments in history? NFTs are a very, very important part of history, and it's going to be a massive movement, in my opinion. We're going to see a lot of things shift over to the intangible world. So I'm 100% for this. I think it's great. I think it's awesome. Like, how cool is that? Like, I'm going to be able to take my daughter on a field trip to go to a museum, not necessarily saying the one in New York, but let's say LA County somewhere, and she's going to be able to see different NFTs. And I can say, yeah, baby, you have NFTs at home too. And it's just going to be a really cool thing. And it's going to bring attention to these art pieces, as well as document the history, which I think is absolutely amazing. I mean, when you think about traditional art, a lot of this stuff came from medieval times or, civilizations that aren't even here anymore. But with NFTs, we're actually able to follow this from the beginning almost until the end, or whatever that looks like. So I think it's super cool. I'm with it.
History is dead. Culture is dead. No one cares about art anymore. That's what I got out of this whole story. They're selling off masterpieces in order to get some NFTs on the wall. Like, do you need that much money in order to put an NFT on the wall?
They're selling them anyways.
I know. Well, I just don't like it. I don't like it. And how can you sell these art pieces? Like, you are a museum that's supposed to be dedicated to preserving this stuff, and you're going to sell it off. I don't like it when museums in the first place sell private collections. I think that's the place they should be. They shouldn't go back into private hands and go into the walls of rich people where nobody will ever see this again. Only a few people can appreciate it. These art pieces should stay within museums. If you have an NFT play too, like, go figure out another way to do it. MoMA, you should just go launch your own token or something like that. There's ways of doing this. I like some of the other stuff. The education stuff is great. That's awesome. But come on, don't be selling art like this. David, let's get your take.
Let me stake a middle ground here real quick, because I share some of Will's ambivalence about the sale. But I would say a couple of things. First, believe it or not, 70 million is not a huge slice of MoMA's collection. These are probably a couple of prominent paintings and a lot of stuff that you would probably never see actually on display, is my guess. The second thing, just to clarify, we do not know that any of this is actually going to wind up going to NFTs. The discussion was that they're going to use it to fund digital programs, which includes things like streaming and education. So let's not say that they're going to go out and buy $70 million worth of NFTs right away. It was basically a maybe and a little bit of a footnote that, of course, we in the crypto media grabbed onto and looked at. And I would also just say that, as in the middle ground, NFTs are going to be significant for art. I mean, for digital art, they are a huge step forward. And, I have a big feature about iterative and generative art in general, and why NFTs are important for developing a market for that. So I think that it is a good thing for people to be paying attention to. But I also agree, it's always weird when a museum sells work. But I don't know if Jen or Wendy wants to jump in. I saw both of you.
Wendy, go quickly, and then I'll wrap us up.
So, I mean, capitalism, that's what happens. And on top of it, the people that they sell these collections to are going to loan them back out to the museum anyways. We see that happen all the time. But that was just my final thoughts on that.
Yeah, I was going to say, Will, I get it. I think we also need to look at what's bringing feet through the door, what's bringing people to these art exhibitions. And we're seeing more and more that it's digital art. We're seeing these Van Gogh immersive experiences where we're taking traditional art and making them digital. And that's how people are experiencing art now. And so I think, if they're going to make $70 million off of selling a few pieces of their collection, it wouldn't make business sense for them to not look at what people want to see and what they want to learn about.